hustler's game. Eventually the best players will win. I have hustled in the past, and I still do. I'm sort of Robin Hood. I wouldn't take from someone who couldn't afford to lose, you know what I mean? I've always liked games, you know. When I was 8 years old and stuff, I used to like playing Monopoly and Cluedo and these sorts of games. And then as I got older, I started playing more complicated games. My father sort of taught me when I was 8 or 9, and the same with bridge. And it just grew from there.
Okay. I shall teach you a few lessons today. I've played backgammon for quite high stakes. One year was very lucky. I'd won £25,000. Get your foot off. How can I put it out with your big feet? He did come to the club where we played for high stakes, and he asked, can I join in? He was about 9 or 10. And they laughed. Said, depends whether your father is prepared to guarantee. I didn't. I wasn't prepared. I taught him how to play, and I think he was, at this particular time, 7 or 8 years old. And he showed, of course, great aptitude straight away. But now, he's a bit difficult. He thinks he's too good. He's normally very contemptuous of me.
So there was a time when your father was better than you at backgammon?
Was. Yeah.
What's the situation now?
I'm sure he'll agree that it's slightly changed. No, he'll never agree to that, but it has.
Most of the time he wins, but when he loses a packet. Many a times have been asked to bail him out. When he says, oh, Dad, I need a cheque for £700 urgently, otherwise I'll be in trouble. Many times did I have to do this.
What do you say about that, Mark?
Well, on the whole I win, so I'm happy.
Any truth in my comments?
Maybe just a tad bit. On a couple of occasions I've had a few losses.
There is no such thing of him playing badly. It's always bad luck if he loses, but superb play when he wins. But this is natural. He's the same at bridge.
Just roll the dice.
Mark Telcher, aged 17, lives in West London. 2 weeks ago, his parents took him out of school when he was only halfway through his A-levels.
Both my parents wanted me to stay at school, but they decided it wasn't the best idea. I enjoy the social side of school, but as far as work's concerned, it doesn't really interest me at all.
What would you rather do?
Well, I'm looking to sort of be a professional gambler in the fields, which I'm good in, like backgammon, bridge. I'm hoping to learn a few other games.
The fact was that he hasn't done a stroke of work this whole year, and his father and I finally decided that there's no point in spending another penny on his education at this stage. He's made it quite clear he's not prepared to work, and so it was a waste of everybody's time, sadly. And there's nothing more we can do. We've encouraged him as much as we can, and he has just decided he doesn't want to.
Backgammon is usually a game for 2 players. The aim is to remove all your checkers off the board before your opponent. Each player alternatively shakes and rolls their dice onto the board and moves their checkers forward. When all of a player's checkers have reached the last quarter of the board, they may be taken off, after the right numbers have been rolled on the dice. In this game, the red player is the winner. Twice a week, Mark Telcher plays backgammon through the night for money with people twice his age.
There's always pros at every club you play at, but there's always lots of mugs. So for every pro, there's probably maybe 3 mugs in that sort of place. So it's also a very good game to win money in, because you can force the stakes up, which is what you're looking to do. Obviously, in a weak game, where you're favourite, you want to force the stakes up, yeah? And in a game where you're not favourite, if you choose to play in that game, you've got to force the stakes down. And that's what I do.
Because there's dice involved, there's an anticipation, almost like every 10 seconds, of what's going to happen next. You know, something really good could happen, something really bad could happen. You know, it's like people going and betting on the bookmakers, yeah, but they only get a horse race once every half an hour. We get one every 10 or 15 seconds. But if you want to get a game, money games with people, then you'd be better off having a tattered equipment like mine, because then nobody feels intimidated. They still want to play you. They don't see you as anything special. Board nicely covered in cat hairs. I ain't going to intimidate anybody today. Come on, puss. Let's go.
Dodd Davis came to the game through chess, then poker.
There you go.
He knows that intimidation can play a large part in money games. So working out in advance how good your opponent is can mean the difference between winning or losing money.
Right. Right, just grab my organiser with my list of people who owe me. I actually broke this once, and I lost the information on everybody who owed me things. I mean, that's why all the keys are about half wrong way up, because I actually put it back together and resoldered it. A lot of people got away with a few free ones once. Hope it doesn't happen again. Looking bad, feeling good.
Backgammon is not just a game of luck. Skillful players can calculate the risk involved in deciding to leave a single checker exposed, where it would be vulnerable to being knocked off and placed on the bar. The checker then has to start again from the beginning, but it's not allowed back onto the board until the correct number is rolled on the dice.
Yeah, we've been double, so we discussed this.
Playing backgammon for money in a public place without a license is technically illegal. But prosecutions are very rare because the game is played for money on an informal basis in pubs around the country. Tonight is only the second meeting between Mark and Dodd.
I've played Mark before, but probably not enough to make an accurate assessment of his game. But you can suss people out to a certain extent. I mean, generally, it's once they start playing, you can tell the difference between weak and strong players fairly quickly.
I like playing people who are not as good as me, who play a high stake. It's one of those games where you just don't lose in the long run against the weaker player.
Mark is playing Dodd, with other players also betting on the game. Gambling in backgammon is done by using the doubling cube. Each game is worth a point, but you can double the stakes by offering your opponent the cube. If your opponent takes the cube, they can then double you back. In money games, each point can represent hundreds of pounds.
Ever see what was happening?
I'm now cubing, that's doubling the stakes again. So I'm playing for what is it, £40 now. Is anybody propping?
Is anyone taking?
I'm considering it. I'll take. No, I'm a take.
That's all you're doing, you're just taking it?
Yeah, just take it.
Now the stakes have been doubled, both players will be looking for lucky rolls of the dice.
That's a good number. Double six is normally a good number.
Mark's double six enables him to remove 4 pieces off the board and win the game.
I was reasonably lucky, but the position looked like that's what was going to happen. And I won a gamble, I won 50 quid in the game.
56, man.
Situation sorted.
Mark's not as good as he thinks he is. Well, he couldn't be. Also, the problem he's going to find is that when he wins, he rubs it in. And you find that all the really good players, I mean, players a lot better than me, yeah? They're really good players. The only reason people will sit down and play against them is because they're really nice people. I'm trying to find you in here, Nick. Oh, you owe me 90. You owe me 90.
Yeah,
so
that was from today, yeah.
Yeah, you owe me 162.
So was that a good day, money-wise?
No, terrible. Unless I get 50 quid in, it's a bad day. I call it a losing session unless I win. My travel expenses plus what I need to survive.
Not all serious backgammon players gamble for money. Monica and Alan Beckerson are regulars on the tournament circuit, where national rankings are what counts.
Get us a cup of tea, love.
Alan originally taught Monica how to play, but now it's Monica who is making a name for herself.
What should we play with, this one or this one? This one?
Can you take the dice out?
Yes.
This is the best of British women. It's nothing to do with me. It's like Monica's in it. Where is she? Ah, yes. Monica's in there as the top lady of that year tournament the book was made. They even got the Queen Mother in there. I don't know what she's the best at, but... Well, best Queen Mother. Yes.
I was going along to the tournaments with Alan and wasn't really interested. I knew how to play, but just the basics of the game.
Okay.
Drop. Get me off. And the tournament director needed someone to make the numbers up. So he asked me if I'd play. And I said, I can play, but I didn't want to. And he more or less talked me into it. These cups here are
Monica's.
my trophies, my top lady trophies.
I only can win a cup if I win a tournament or come second. But Monica can win a cup if she comes top lady or... Of course she should.
Anywhere in the tournament if I'm the top lady player.
Monica's next chance of being top lady is at a forthcoming tournament in Warwick. As part of their preparation, they play every night and keep score.
Yeah, I've won 32 and Monica's won 23.
But before that, I was 15 each.
15 each?
Yeah.
But then I won 10 games running, which made it 25-15, didn't it? Very sad. I'm still better than her. If she was better than me, I don't know how I'd feel. But I'm very pleased because she's doing well. Obviously, if she was doing better, it might make me feel a bit, jealous.
I'm a bit tired.
Yeah. What time did you get to bed last night?
Late. Must have been about 5.
Was it a good night?
It was alright. I went sort of gambling, won some money. So I was very happy. Maybe a few £100.
When Mark is not at his father's house, he lives with his mother and his sister, Natalie.
Right.
So what about gambling then, Nats? What do you think?
No, man. It's like a waste of money, do you know what I mean? I mean, you could win, but then you could lose, and that would suck. So I don't risk it.
She sees it in its most simplest form.
Yeah, but it's boring, man. It's like just moving a couple of counters. I mean, I can play and all, but, I can actually play it, but I wouldn't choose to. Well, I'll do it occasionally, do you know what I mean, if I'm bored, but... No, man, it's boring. I'd rather just go out with my friends. Like, he's a teenager who should be going out clubbing and, taking drugs and, getting off with loads of girls. But what does he do? He goes to play bridge and backgammon. Something to be ashamed about, Mark.
There's nothing to be ashamed about.
Yeah, it is. Seriously, I would be ashamed if I were you.
No, you're a fool.
I have tried repeatedly to stop him because I don't approve of it, but unfortunately he's been allowed to do so, and he's now past the age when I can really have any more control over him.
Yeah.
How many sugars has this got in?
2.
How many's that got in?
2. No, why is it got 2?
That wants 3.
Well, in that case,
I will buy him clothes, take him out take me anywhere he wants to go, but I don't like giving him the cash.
Sugar. Sugar's good, man.
Where does he get the money from?
His father, not from me. I'm too mean.
I don't think it's good for anybody to be a sport as I've been, because I've been sport rotten by all my parents. Like, sort of, it takes away the will to work sort of thing, if you know you don't have to. Do you fancy taking me shopping?
I suppose I could do a little bit of something later on.
If you want.
Oh, you take me as well?
And what are you taking you one Saturday?
No. Of course.
I don't believe it.
What the hell? I'm the same amount as you.
You're 2 years younger than me.
I'm a year and a half younger than you. Anyway, I'm more expensive than you.
Mark has decided to make his tournament debut by entering the competition at Warwick. He has heard that some of the competitors will be placing side bets to provide prize money for the top players.
I was speaking to a friend of mine yesterday who's played the tournament a few times before. He said you'll certainly be in the top 10 out of 100 players there. He said, I think you've got a good chance.
In Warwick, backgammon players have come from all over Britain to enter the weekend event. Some players have come to boost their tournament rankings, others have come to win money.
We've got an excellent entry this time, 64 people. You have to identify yourselves when your name is called out. Emmanuel Devona.
The event is a knockout tournament, and with the names randomly chosen, a world-class player could be drawn against a beginner.
Monica Beckerson and Guy Rankin.
The side bets have been placed, and Mark is hoping to win the £700 pot.
Mark Telsher, who's a new member, and Bob Palmley.
Not too much.
You come second. I'll come second. Oh, not a very good player. So don't bully me.
I've heard all about you. Your reputation has come ahead of you. Super brat, I think, was the expression he used. I'm an age super brat. Okay, buddy lad.
Right, stop.
How many points are we playing to?
Each game is worth 1 point, but players can increase the points by using the doubling cube. The winner of each match is the first to reach 11 points. Mark soon uses the doubling cube to devastating effect.
Well done, well done. Defeated, but not vanquished. Enjoy the rest of your game, sir. That was 11-1. I managed to score 1 point.
Right.
I've been playing for 30 years, about twice his age, actually. He's quite good, very good.
To prevent players from cheating, a tournament rule states that the dice should be shaken vigorously and thrown from a discernible height.
Ray wasn't happy with the way that Mark was shaking his dice. They weren't being shaken in the dice cup, and Ray was quite right in asking that Mark would shake his dice vigorously. I think it annoyed Mark initially. It can upset some players, and if you can put them off by applying the rules rigorously, they will try it on.
I really enjoyed being that miserable. He was complaining because I wasn't. He said I wasn't throwing the dice properly.
Mark is now drawn against Monica. He watches her finishing off her game and tries to assess how good a player she is. The match is going well for Monica. Sadly, Alan is about to be knocked out of the tournament.
Have I got to play you?
Yeah.
Are you Mark?
I'm Mark.
Hello, Mark. Yeah, I saw you. You was hovering around. Was you
Yeah.
seeing how I play?
I was hoping very much the other guy would win.
Oh, was you?
Mark is soon into his stride and takes a commanding lead. At a crucial moment, Monica leaves one of her checkers exposed on its own. Mark rolls exactly what he needs to knock her off onto the bar. Monica is unable to recover from the setback.
Well played. And
I was very lucky.
You were extremely lucky, but you still played well. But he's a very good player. He knows it. He knows he's very good. But that's it now. I'm out. No, I lost. I lost to the young prodigy. The young prodigy. The kid, yeah.
After 8 hours of hard playing, Monica and Alan retire for the evening. But Mark is in no mood for an early night.
I am really enjoying the tournament, basically because I'm doing well. If I'd been knocked out of the first round and everything, no mate, let's go home. I'm enjoying the social side as well, you know, I enjoyed chilling. I wouldn't really call them friends, but more of acquaintances from the backgammon world.
Day 2, and Mark is rather the worse for wear.
Where's Mark, everybody?
How you feeling this morning?
Terrible. I woke up feeling sick. I was starving, yeah, but I couldn't eat anything. I know. It wasn't a nice feeling. I had too much to drink.
In the quarter-finals, Mark has been drawn against Dan O'Farrell, one of the top players at the tournament. With a combination of fatigue and bad rolls of the dice, Mark finds himself in trouble. The final score, 11-4.
Was he a good player? Yeah, he's the best player I've played so far. And the luck was with him, there's nothing I can do.
Mark is out of the tournament and has failed to win any money. The start of his career as a tournament player has not gone quite to plan.
I'm very sorry that he has not taken to an academic career, but it's hopeless. He'll only be a bridge player and a backgammon player. And as he expects to inherit a bit from me, he doesn't feel there's any great need for him to rush to earn a living.
Ideally, I think it'd be excellent if he could only find a job in the city. He's got such a good mathematical mind that I can really see him in the money markets, but he's got to want that type of job. I think he'd be quite brilliant at it, but he needs a bit of discipline. He needs to be able to get up early in the morning and not come in straight from the backgammon club.
I was hoping maybe I could just go to a club, a bridge club or a backgammon club and just play there and just win enough money to live on for the rest of my life. But I'm not sure that's me. I still like, I'm being flexible. I'm keeping all my options open over the whole period. And like, at the moment, you know, I'm 17, I just want to enjoy myself, really. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do.